Well, it is great to be with you this week again for our pastor update. And today I have a very special guest. Tricia Atchison is with us. She is the co-chair of our staff parish relations team. Her husband, Bob, is on the board. Her son, Griffin, is in the youth group and a leader in our church as well. So they're a true church family. Tricia, welcome. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So Tricia, as you know, several months ago, I came to the staff parish relations committee. That's the team that does all of the personnel issues of the church. It's a large responsibility. And I came to the team and I said, there is this allowance in the discipline, the governing book of the Methodist Church, that allows for renewal leaves for clergy that have served more than 6 years. And I would like to have a renewal leave coming up for 3 months. It's not a sabbatical, that is, it's not a specific educational thing. It's not leaving, it's a time of renewal and regeneration and revitalization for clergy, kind of a self-care thing. And so why would you agree to this kind of a thing as a staff parish co-chair?
Hi, David. Nice to be with you guys today. I would say a couple things, right? So, you referenced the fact that it is part of the Book of Discipline and something as United Methodists that we do. And so, I think, obviously we take our direction from that overall. But I think the other piece of it for me, right, is I think you mentioned 6 years. I think you've been doing ministry for over almost 30 years, right? So, I think renewal leave is important, right? Because in your role, you are really busy, right? You are on all sorts of meetings and you're preaching and you're visiting people who are sick and you just have a lot going on, right? And so sometimes maybe being able to actually have a break where you can take some time and really focus on you, right, and your family and have that time of renewal and focus, I think is important. So for me, it was a kind of an easy decision, right? In terms of, not only have you been with us for a while, but you've been doing this for a long time. And so it's probably a good time for you to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, I'm so grateful to the church. I recognize that it is a gift, and not everybody is able to have some sense of distance to gain perspective. Running, paddling furiously under the feet under the water for 30
Mhm.
years. It's hard to get distance enough to see what's happening, and so I see it as truly a gift, and I'm really really grateful for that. Are there things that you hope come out of this season, this 3 month stint from April 15th to July 15th, maybe for me or for the church?
So I would say a couple things. So one is I think people will be interested to hear
Yeah.
kind of what you gained from that, right? So I imagine, and maybe you can talk a little bit about what you're hoping to gain, but I think, people will be interested to see, what you did and how you spent your time and what you got out of that, right? Like what was revealed to you, or maybe from a direction standpoint, maybe you'll have some insights of something, a different way our church should be going or something we should be doing. So, um, for me and probably those around me, I think that that's what they would be interested in, right? Is to kind of know what comes out
Sure.
of that. And maybe you can tell us what you think you would like to get out of it, why
Yeah.
you're taking a break.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I totally understand that they would want to know since they've been able to allow me this opportunity. So I do plan to focus on a couple of things. One is to create some distance and to create some space. I know as a guy that runs that you can't run all the time without rest. And so there's a strengthening aspect to that, some space to strengthen and to gain perspective and really to listen, as you have said. I plan to spend time every day in doing some of the spiritual disciplines, some spiritual exercises, and I've got a new, believe it or not, commentary on Mark, which I know may not excite a lot of people, but I'm looking forward to digging into some of the scripture. Just that's my own spiritual piece. But from there, to create some distance from organized church for a little bit and to think about what I'm called to do. I'm going to spend some time down in one of my all-time favorite spots down by the ocean in Almirada to listen and to have some space. And our son's graduating in the middle of that, and but then we're also going to take a family trip out west and go for an extended road trip that will start on one end of the coast and then to the rest of my extended family. So recognizing that opportunity and that gift to be together. But But my goal is really to hopefully be renewed and refreshed and have a new perspective heading into the next 10 years. And so that's really, I look forward to sharing with you what I learned and what I've learned about myself, because a lot of this is about, as a leader, my strength is reflected in what I can do, and if I'm not strong, then I can't do it. And so I'm looking forward to that. I also think there's something to be gained from the church, and that is it's an awesome opportunity for our associate pastors and staff. When I was a young associate years and years and years ago now, my senior pastor took renewal leave in my second year and was gone for a couple months. And in those couple months, preaching every week and going to all the team meetings, and I learned a lot about what church was about and how church was run. And I had no idea some of what that role was that the pastor was covering, because I was in a different role. And so it was a great opportunity for me, and I got to really connect with the people in the church more at a deeper level, because as an associate now I'm helping to lead. I now really interacted with the leaders and pastorally with people. So I think it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for Rachel and for Pastor John, Pastor Rachel, and others to really get that sense of understanding. So
Yeah, I agree with that. And I know Pastor Rachel and Pastor John will do a great job, right? And with Craig being gone, right, we also know that he's going to come back, and
right,
Pastor Craig will come back and preach some as well. So
right.
while it seems like a long time, right, time goes very quickly, and we'll blink and you'll be back. But I think it's a great opportunity for them, right? And they'll be stretched and probably learn things that they might not have otherwise gotten the opportunity to do.
It was interesting today. Even today, I was in a meeting with Pastor Rachel, and we're already meeting about this time and how things are covered. And we have such strong lay leaders in this church, and the board and the different teams are really running the church. And so, they're strong, and that'll carry on. But Pastor Rachel was saying she's never been responsible to come with a sermon series theme or how that's booked out. It's just one little piece of our job,
Yeah.
but she's never had a chance to do that. And now she's got to come up with a couple series, and who preaches when, and what's the text going to be, and what's the background, and all that stuff, that just for one little aspect that's kind of exciting. I'm glad she gets a chance to do that and to explore
Yeah.
that.
Well,
So
and she's already reached out to me to make sure that we keep the cadence with staff parish, right? We meet monthly and we talk about a lot of the different things going on from kind of a people standpoint with the church, right? And so we're already sort of gearing up for that too. So we will make sure things are well covered while you are on leave, so you don't have to worry about what's happening here.
I have full confidence. I truly do in the pastors and the lay leaders of this church. I know it'll go by in a blink. I just absolutely know it will.
Yeah.
So Tricia, one of the things that on a personal level, one of the things that I really admire about you, and as I've watched and gotten to know you, this strong ethic of faith that's lived out in service. I saw it in your mom and how she passed it on to you, and I see it in your son and all the different ways that he leads, and of course your husband, who's involved in all that. So why, with that kind of ethic and background, and yet you're sharing such a large responsibility with all this staff, why would you take on that kind of a role?
Yeah, so this is kind of always my story, right? Is when we joined church and, had a new baby, kind of the thing that you do is you take people food.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
you guys know us even a little bit, you know that I am not the one who does the cooking in our household. And so Bob is a great cook and he makes wonderful food, but that is not me. And so we would take people food and then we would go get like takeout or go out to dinner or whatever. And so then I was asked to be on the finance committee. And when I got on finance, I was like, oh, like this I like, which I know makes
yeah,
people chuckle.
yeah. I've already said
Most
that,
people
by the
don't
way.
like it. And I always say everybody should be on finance at least once, because you learn a lot about how the church runs. And so I served on finance for, I guess, 3 years, whatever my stint was on that. And then I did some different things in like women's ministries and women's retreats and things like that. And then I was asked 2 years ago to be on staff parish. And In my, day job, I actually work for a software company. I run a large team. I'm very involved in working with people and, dealing with HR issues and things like that. And so for me, it's all about the people. Like that is my passion. I talk a lot, like I do blogs and different things for work, and we talk a lot about leadership. And I always go back to it's really about the people, right? Because the church is not a building, the church is the people. And so for me, it is all about the people, and Staff Parish is all about the people. So I'm really honored to be on the committee and get to serve. I think it's another great way, right, to learn about our church and some of the inner workings of how things happen.
Yeah.
Even though, sometimes things are hard and not perfect, but
Overwhelming to learn how things happen. Yes.
but it's great, right? It's a great way to, be engaged and use some of the gifts and talents that I have. So for me, it's a great place for me to be.
Well, you really have been a gift. And I just think about not one preschool, but two preschools and brain fitness and the dance studios and all these different ministries that you help shape the culture and the staff. It's just a huge gift to the church. And I'm very, very grateful for you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's been great talking with you, Tricia, and I know I'll see you around the church. And again, thank you, and thank the Staff Parish and the church for the opportunity that I've been given. And I look forward to sharing with you all that's involved. I'm not leaving yet, but when I get back. So until next time, take care and God bless.